Welcome to Consultant's Corner. I'm Rebecca Brizzi. This is my corner. I am a consultant. Not all clients are worth working with. You want to know who a good client is. You want to know those so that you can pursue exactly those types of clients. You also want to know who a terrible client is. And the truth is, if you are working as a freelancer, solopreneur, or even a small business, it is even more important to learn to recognize bad clients so you don't waste your time, you don't waste your resources, you don't waste your money, and frankly, you don't waste their time either. So let's look at some red flags. The information I'm sharing is a combination of a discussion I had over lunch with a couple of colleagues and asking the same question later on Twitter and some of my own personal red flags. So what you're about to hear are things that prospects and clients might do that should have you concerned. Anyone who tries to negotiate my package prices. Absolutely. If somebody comes right in and just starts negotiating on price right away, this is somebody who will nickel and dime you on everything. You need to know what your service is worth. Charge what it's worth. Clients who hassle me about outdated SEO practices and replace SEO practices with whatever the technical skill is that you provide. Yep, somebody who comes to you and thinks that they are the expert in your field and demonstrates that they are not because they're talking to you about things that were pertinent ages ago or that they probably read in a headline somewhere. That's a client who will always be trying to correct your work. If they have a long list of coaches who burned them or didn't deliver, again, replace coaches with whatever it is that you did. If somebody's coming in and telling you all the problems they had with all their other service providers and it was always their fault, guess what? Anything that goes wrong is going to be your fault. If they use the words, it should be easy, or it shouldn't take long, or I would have done it myself, but this is somebody who clearly does not value your work. They don't value your expertise. They don't value your experience. They don't value the technical skill because they think they could have just done it if only they had an extra half hour. Overly flashy marketing and branding materials without a clear picture of revenue generation in the simplest form. If this prospect is pushing more effort into presentation than they are into substance, you might be concerned that there's not a lot of substance there. These are all excellent examples of red flags. This shows you that this client is going to exhibit a certain behavior throughout your relationship together, that they will constantly be trying to get a discount or dispute your price, or they will constantly think that something shouldn't have taken you as long or should cost less than you're charging them for, or will constantly be trying to correct the work that you're doing because they read something or heard something or think they know better. All in all, these are clients who do not value the service that you are providing. So you want a client who does value it, is going to pay for it, and is going to trust that you are doing it correctly. That doesn't mean you don't still communicate with the client and get their feedback and get their input, but the point is it is supposed to be a collaboration. I'll add a few others here. The clients or prospects who don't communicate or communicate incorrectly. If you ask a client a yes or no question and they give you a 3-minute monologue answer, they're not communicating correctly. On the flip side, if you ask them a substantial question and they give you yes or no as an answer, they're not communicating correctly. Now, they may have simply misunderstood the question, but if this happens repeatedly, this is somebody who is neither listening nor responding. Clients who don't know what they want. It's that classic example of, we need 7 straight lines, we need them all to be blue, and one of them has to be red. All those conditions cannot exist at the same time. A client who is constantly changing their mind or constantly giving you unrealistic expectations or signs off on something one day and hates it the next, or maybe one person in the business signs off on it and then the next person comes by and says, no, that's terrible. This is a client who does not know what they want, and they should figure that out to a great extent before involving you. The client needs to know their general expectation and certainly their preferred outcome. And finally, but very importantly, clients who don't pay. This is not that different from where we started. Clients who are questioning prices or asking for discounts or saying that it's so expensive. In short, clients who are problematic about money. Again, because you deserve to be paid for what you do, but also it speaks to how you want to spend your time. Do you want to spend your time doing the work, being productive, collaborating with the client, creating something wonderful, or do you want to spend your time justifying your costs and talking about money? Take 20 minutes to go through your client roster and pick out your 5 worst clients. These are the clients who are the hardest to work with, produce the lowest amount of revenue or margin, and when the phone rings and it's them calling, there's a little bit of dread inside. It doesn't mean that they're bad people. It might just mean that they're not the right client for you, for the way in which you work. So list the 5 worst ones, and now think back to those interactions and what behaviors did they exhibit that might have seemed negligible at the time or something you could overcome, but in retrospect you can see should have been red flags. And use those in the future. Trust the experience that you have had in the past to guide better decisions in the future and start to work with great clients. And of course, I'd love to hear your red flags. Share in the comments underneath this video and we'll have some fun with those until next week when we'll see you back here, same place, same day with our next video. Bye now.